Don't go live yet. Hi, we're live again with Jaw Time with Realtor Jeet. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I would like to, before I start, ask if you are enjoying all of these videos, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the videos so that I can bring more valuable information to everyone who watches. Today, I have a special guest joining us, and I'm super excited because I started reading her book, and reading her book, I said, wow, there's so much in common that I felt so relatable with, and I'm sure many of you will as well when you do start reading this book. So I'm going to introduce to you Kristine Newell. Kristine has been in the real estate industry for over 2 decades with an emphasis on luxury. She currently is the Senior Vice President of Premier Sotheby's International Realty based in the West Coast of Florida, Central Florida, and North Carolina. Prior to her career in executive leadership, Kristine sold real estate full-time as a single mom and survived the downturn in the market and rebounded by choosing to focus on gratitude. And I'm going to bring Kristine up and continue finishing. Hi, Kristine. I'm so talking about gratitude, so grateful that you're here with us.
Thank you.
So, my pleasure. So after experiencing several personal struggles as a woman and a mom of 4, Kristine, you've learned to focus on gratitude and rebuild your life. This journey, I know you've mentioned, had a profound effect on you and how you choose, and now you're choosing to share this with others, which is so great. And you also coach others on how to incorporate the habit of grateful in daily life with a series of easy tools and habits that can alter the mindset. And this is so cool because talking about the habit of grateful, Kristine's new book, which launched in January 2023, is called The Habit of Grateful. It is a part self-help motivational book and part interviews and stories. So welcome, Kristine. Thank you so much for joining us again.
Thank you for having me, Harjeet. I'm so excited to be here and to talk about gratitude, my favorite topic.
My pleasure. It's so funny. The past few years, that has been my focus. And I am so happy that I get to get connected to wonderful people like you who do practice this in your daily life. Mm-hmm. And not only do you practice it in your daily life, you teach others. And and here's a fun fact. Kristine, you read 3 books at once and you can't live. And this is where the commonality comes in because I read so many books at once.
It's kind of bad because I'll have I love fiction, but I love thought leadership, and I'm always trying to do self-improvement. It's like I always have them like 3. I'm kind of picking up one. Like right now, I'm reading a book set in Florence in the 1400s, a fictional book. I'm reading about menopause, full disclosure, and I'm reading another book on the lean startup. So like I have, and then another one actually 4 right now, how to be a thought leader. So I have 4 right now. Yeah.
4, that's amazing. There's goals right now. My max is 3.
But sometimes they kind of work together in odd ways. So I just
they do. I'm always cross references when I'm reading through it. We have a common friend, Bob Berg, and I was reading this book called it's called A Full Fee Agent from Chris Voss, and there's so many things that I was reading through there, and I'm like, Bob, this is exactly what you write about. This is exactly what you write about. So it's so cool that you could cross-reference when you're reading, multiple books at one time.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you love gratitude, and gratitude is something that you've been practicing. What attracted you to gratitude? What is it to you? And what brings about this passion, Kristine?
Oh gosh, it's a great question. I think that I am predispositioned to be grateful. I'm wired that way. And I've learned that we all have various degrees of positivity in our outlook. It's called positive affectivity. And I also learned that you can become more positive by working on that as a skill. So I think for me, it came down to the butter moment, which I talk about in the book. And that's really when I was going through a divorce many years ago, was a single mom of 3 little kids selling real estate full time. And suddenly, my phone stopped ringing, a bunch of deals crashed. And one night I was trying to make dinner for the kids, and I realized that the cupboards had just slowly gotten very bare. I had no money left in my checking account, and I couldn't make dinner because I didn't have butter, didn't have milk, didn't have butter, and fell to the ground. And it was one of those defining moments in my life that I felt like the biggest failure in the world, hit rock bottom. And I now I feel like it was a blessing, because from there, you can only go up when you hit rock bottom. And I suddenly appreciated very simple things, like when I was able to, have money for food and rebuild my life and have heat and hot water and, have all those things again. And appreciate the fact that even in those moments where I was struggling, I had my health and I had my 3 beautiful children. So gratitude became my life raft in that moment. And I think from there on, I started studying it and reading about it, over the period of, 10 to 15 years. And now I consider myself a student of gratitude.
That's amazing. So this butter moment, I find it so fascinating because so many of us go through this moment of butter moment. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. Unfortunately, we go through so much and we allow ourselves to get to this threshold where it no longer is acceptable to have this pain anymore.
Mm.
And then we break through it. And like you said, you hit rock bottom. There's no other way to go than up. And how did that change your life profoundly when after you started doing gratitude and really, like, I read part of your book too, you started practicing it as a lifestyle more so as, like you say, it's a buzzword right now. But when you realize this is a lifestyle, you live gratitude, how your life can change.
Absolutely. And it's really a superpower we all have. It's like flipping a switch. And there's a lot of science, Harjeet, that says, when you express gratitude, you focus on it for yourself, express it to others, you're firing off the dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good chemicals in the brain, and you actually do start to feel happier. So that was really fascinating when I learned that. For me, the other thing is gratitude. It's not a one-off. It's not like, all right, today I'm grateful and then I forget about it.
Yep.
The benefits really occur when it is a daily habit, like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, taking your vitamin, your gratitude, your vitamin G.
Coffee.
Gratitude, exactly. But that's where the benefits come. It's the habit, and you have to do it every single day. I found that when I started having a morning routine every single day, and gratitude is a big part of that. It's the first thing that I do. It really frames my entire day. It's easy to wake up and immediately think about the stress and what you have to do that you don't want to do, or the negative, but when you really consciously focus on everything you're grateful for, your whole day becomes framed in a way that you think, wow, like I'm pretty lucky. Like I have it pretty good. So I think that's when stuff changed for me. When I went into that abundance mindset, I got out of the victim mindset, abundance mindset, daily routine, and daily habits of gratitude.
Abundance mindset versus that victim mindset. I love that. That is absolutely true. And guys, if you haven't done so yet, this is the new book. You can get it on Amazon. The Habit of Grateful from Kristine Newell. And she talks about four habits.
Yeah. So the habits are, I tried to make them very simple, and again, took all the different research. One of my favorite thought leaders on gratitude is Dr. Robert Emmons. He's really considered the world's leading expert on gratitude. And he has, I think, at least 3 books, lots of TED Talks. And so he's, someone I follow very closely. But, the first one is, again, that daily gratitude. So when you wake up, say out loud to the universe or write it down, here's what I'm grateful for today. And like this morning, my list was I posted it because I liked my list today, but I was thankful for Wi-Fi in my house. I mean, I grew up in a generation where we didn't have the internet or Wi-Fi. I'm dating myself, but how freaking cool is it? Like if you told the 10-year-old me I could like wake up, jump on this computer thing and have all this knowledge, so we don't want to take this stuff for granted. So anyway, so number one, wake up, be grateful for whatever you would like. And the simplest thing is be grateful you're alive, because there are some people that don't have that gift today. Number two, be the sunshine. And that just means look for opportunities throughout your entire day to appreciate others. And so I use the words, I appreciate you. I type them on the emails I send. I appreciate you. When I'm buying my coffee at Starbucks and they hand me my latte, I say, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. People are like, wow, thank you. It's just little thing. But, one of our greatest desires as a human is to feel like we matter. So when you tell somebody you're grateful, you're just giving them like a little spark of sunshine. So look for those opportunities. And then habit 3, writing notes of gratitude. So, write at least one note a week to someone and tell them why you're grateful for them. And the handwritten notes go such a long way. I mean, and especially in the business world today, to get a handwritten note, it goes so far and it sets you apart. So I just think, and you can do it on a personal level. We recently had one of our dogs who was 16 pass, and it was a really tough time for our family. But our veterinarian in that moment was incredible. And I sent her a note of gratitude because I'm sure that was really hard for her. And I felt like I wanted to honor her. So, she got the benefit of receiving the note and I got the benefit of sending it. So it's just a beautiful thing. And I have tons of writing prompts and instructions in the book. If you're worried, like, what do I say? It can be 3, like a line. It can be very simple. And then the 4th habit is just commit. Take that gratitude vitamin G every day and make it a habit, and track your progress and commit. So those are the 4 habits.
I love that. Vitamin G. Take your vitamin G every day. And one of the things I'm sure both of us are so grateful for is Bob Berg. He just wrote, love watching 2 of my all-time favorite people having a conversation with each other. And Kristine's new book is totally phenomenal, which I agree 100%. I'm starting to read it and I'm like, wow, your story and then helping through these steps is just absolutely amazing, Kristine.
Thank
So
you.
I do along with Bob, I highly, highly recommend it. And don't forget to take this vitamin G.
Every day, take your vitamin G. Don't forget it. You don't want to be vitamin G deficient.
Nope.
No, it's not a good place to be. And it's interesting because sometimes people pose that question, Harjeet. Some people say, oh, well, it's easy to be grateful when so-and-so is successful. But what if the reason they're successful is because they were grateful, that they use gratitude as a tool, as a skill to become successful?
I love that. And I believe that is what brings most people success, is having that gratitude. Because if you can be grateful in a time of suffering or in a time of chaos, and you could work past that, then it's like, okay, there's so many things we can be so grateful for because we found gratitude in those moments. So it's just not hard to find gratitude when you're successful and you're bringing butter home.
Absolutely. The butter. It's interesting. I'm getting so many messages from people saying like they're buying a lot of butter and putting it in their fridge and thinking of me. There's a lot of butter happening. But the other thing is, what reflecting on the book, it's like you don't have to do it alone either. And we all are blessed to have family, friends, people in our life. And I have been so blessed. And especially, my friend Mary, who in that time when I was, going through that, she really lent me that courage. She saw something in me I did not see in myself. And that relationship for me was pivotal, and so I think a few things. I think number one, remember, you're never alone, that you have people that will help you if you ask for help. And it's okay to be vulnerable and ask for help. I'm not good at that. But it's important because people like to give help, and that's fulfilling. And so, the beauty of that friendship and being grateful for it just really, really changed my life. So,
That's awesome. That's a great friend. And it's always nice to have friends and family that are always there for you, that you know that they're there for you.
yes.
And another reason to be so grateful. And I'm grateful for my little 5-year-old who's tapping on my toe right now.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. She wants to come in the show.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you.
You want to say what you're grateful for?
No.
No? You want to say what you say at school before you go to school? So that's one of the things I do, Kristine. Yes, she said you could say vitamin D.
Oh.
Because I was saying vitamin G. One of the things I work with my daughter, she's 5 years old. Before she goes to school, we have our affirmations in the morning. So she has her gratitude, and then she also has her I'm strong, I'm beautiful, I'm brave, and I'm going to have a great day today.
Oh, that's so awesome. That's
So
great.
I so I do this with her, and I know that you've done some research and the science behind gratitude. And what has this taught you? And why should real estate professionals, because we're both in the industry, why should real estate professionals use this habit of grateful? And how's it gonna specifically benefit them?
For sure, for sure. So I will say that more than ever right now, so many people have anxiety and depression. I mean, this world we're in, there's a lot going on, right? We're constantly being pinged from our iPhone watch or our phone, and especially kids with social media and all these other things. So I find that the affirmations and the gratitudes, it really grounds you, and you quickly remember what's so important, and it's not all that noise. There's so much research again that supports the physical benefits of gratitude as a habit. So like a better immune system, less aches and pains, better sleep, and mental health benefits, and social benefits, having better relationships. So I think that's why it's so important. And I love the fact that you're doing it with your daughter. I think that teaching this to kids when they're young, like it's such a valuable life skill, and it does help with the depression and anxiety. I will say with real estate in particular, having been in this industry for over 20 years, you have two choices when you wake up. You can wake up and think, gosh, I have no deals, no business, the sky is falling. Or you can wake up and tell yourself all the great things that you should be grateful for. And, we're corporate athletes, right? In real estate, mindset is everything. I mean, how can you work for a client if you are not in that proper centered mindset? And also, keeping your energy in that positive quadrant. So if a deal blows up or someone's highly emotional, as we know they will be, right, Harjeet? Like people are emotional. This is their home, that we can really deal with that in a calm manner and be that advisor. So gratitude will help you feel more balanced if you use it every single day. You won't get so wound up and you won't be so high and low. You will be more balanced and more level-headed. It just puts everything in a very different perception, because at the end of the day, there are people in different parts of the world right now, that are living in a war zone, or that don't have a house, or that don't have running water. I mean, every time you turn on your shower, that's a miracle. Think of how much of the world doesn't have that. And so when you start to kind of rebalance your mindset, it really has incredible rippling effects on you and your overall demeanor. So it does work.
Absolutely. And you're right. I firsthand experienced that growing up, whenever we would go back and forth to India. And whenever we would go back, so this is in the 90s. I'm not so sure if it's still like that now, but so in the 90s, we would go back, and there were certain times that drinking water would be able to be run through the taps. So they would fill up all of the water, as much as water that they can, so that they can drink this water. And then, of course, we had hot water at certain times of the day, and we had light at certain times. Light was such a a valuable thing. So we wouldn't know when the lights would go out. So as kids,
Gosh.
and so we're from, I'm born and raised here in New York, and we would go back. And my cousins and I, whenever the lights would go on, it was an adventure for us because we never really experienced losing light. We always knew that we have light. We're not going to lose light out.
Yeah, I mean, you just take it for granted. Like you can just flip on a switch, right?
You just flip on. So the lights would be on, and it's night, and the lights would automatically just shut off. So, in Hindi and Punjabi, it would be "batti gayi," the lights left. That's what we would say. That's what that means. Batti means light, gay means go. So we would just start screaming and running around in the house, batti gay, with laughter, because it was, for us, it was an adventure, and we was grateful that we could at least have that experience.
Mhm.
But especially coming back home now, it made us even 10 times more grateful for what we do have, because we didn't get to lose the lights whenever we were home in New York.
Yeah.
And so going back to like thinking about different countries and other people right now, where they're what's happening in Ukraine, and unfortunately what happened in Turkey, what's going on over there with the rescue missions. So there's so much that we can look around and just be like, I'm literally looking at my daughter right now, and she's sitting there quietly. I'm grateful for that.
So true. It's so true. And gratitude can be very simple in that way, that you always have something to be grateful for, even when you're in a tough moment in life. And we've all been there. We've all had difficult situations, and we'll have more difficult situations. That's life. But, gratitude is that life raft. And, or I like to say it's like almost like a hand mirror in some ways. And all you have to do is look into it and reflect, and everything changes. So, yeah, I mean, I think also, talking about the book, for me, my favorite chapter is the last chapter, believe it or not. And I love to talk about sunset. And here where I live on the west coast of Florida, sunset is a really big thing. And people actually go watch a sunset, like watching a show. Like they sit there and they watch the sun go down. And I feel like that sunrise, sunset represents to me just that opportunity every day to get up again and do your best, and then the sunset, just all the different colors and the beauty, but knowing that tomorrow the sun's going to rise again and you're going to start anew, and that whole cycle. And so, gratitude, it's very much a cycle in so many ways. And yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that, but
Actually, that was going to be my next question. What is your most memorable part of the book? And which you just talked about with the sunset. Now, with gratitude, of course, I get this a lot as well. How do you respond to criticism or skepticism when you talk about the idea of practicing gratitude, and how can you bring about significant change in someone's life when you are going through this, if somebody's just going through this lifestyle change?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there will always be skepticism, of course. And what I've learned is that when someone's skeptical, it means they need more information to make a decision. So, so my advice is just try it. What do you have to lose? It's free. It's just, trying gratitude as a habit. Try it for 30 days and see if it makes a difference. Does it soothe you? Are you enjoying it? Sometimes it's like, every day, like, oh, got to do my gratitude again. Like we all get in that little place because we're human, but just work through it and stick with it. And for any skeptic that tries it for 30 days, see how you feel. Most people can, once you even just take a minute, and we can all do it right now. Like we can all think of 3 things we're grateful for, like right now. So I have 3. What are your 3, Harjeet, that you're grateful for right now?
Right now, I am grateful for you being here doing this show with me, 1. 2, my 3 beautiful children. We spent the day cleaning up the house, and it's President's Day, so everybody's home, and I got to spend time cleaning and spending time with my children. And 3, my husband is bringing dinner home today. So thank you very much for bringing dinner today.
So 3 beautiful things. And it's interesting because I felt it when you talked about the 3 things you're grateful for, you kind of lit up, and I felt like your energy, not to get all woo-woo, but your
Mhm.
energy shifted.
Yeah.
That's what gratitude does for us in that moment. And so you can't be angry and grateful at the same time. The
Mhm.
next time someone cuts you off in traffic, literally, when you want to scream and you get, just take a moment and say 3 things out loud. I am grateful for this. I'm grateful for it. And you will just calm down. So you can't be grateful and angry at the same time. You can't be grateful and sad. It
Mhm.
really just shifts your mood. It's like this, again, it's a superhuman hero thing that we all have.
Yeah.
So that's what I say to the skeptics, and try it. If it doesn't work, that's cool. There's other stuff that might work for you, but universally, gratitude goes back. I mean, since the dawn of time, you find it in the earliest writings. Uh,
Mhm.
from the Greeks to the Romans, it's to religion, all the religions, have some element of gratitude. So it's been around for a while. It's not.
It has. It has. This is why it's a huge practice for me, because it's one of the cores in my religion. So it's very spiritual for me as well. And when we talk about them, there's, like you said, there's so much science behind it. I do want to go a little bit into, if you don't mind, Kristine, is there are a lot of real estate agents who don't practice it and are skeptical because of this very reason, because of, okay, you don't understand, I'm really busy, I got this deal to take care of and that client to take care of, and I'm dealing with this agent and I'm dealing with that agent, and so much things come all at once, and then we on the receiving end, get that energy now and are giving back the energy with, okay, look, I know you're going through all of this,
Right.
so how would you, what advice or tips can you give agents that have that sense of anxiety? And
100%. And I sold real estate for many years. I'm now in a leadership role, but I get it. I did that for many, many years. I think it's really, you have to ask yourself that question. What level do you want to be at?
Mhm.
You want to have a better work-life balance? Do you want to earn a really good income and have like a soothing, level of mindset? So if you want all those things, gratitude is going to help get you there. Otherwise, you're going to wake up hair on fire and you're going to be highly reactive. Now we know,
Mhm.
studies show, when you're only reacting, it's very hard to accomplish those
Yep.
goals, right? The things that you need to get done, the tasks, the goals that are going to result in that income or the lifestyle. So by instead taking control of your life, starting your day with intention, having that morning routine,
Mm.
focusing on gratitude to get into a positive mindset, which is going to make you better. You're going to negotiate deals better.
Mhm.
You're going to attract more clients because clients pick up on our energy
Yes.
and they gravitate towards realtors that are calm and level-headed and wise and that are advisors, right? So by doing the morning routine, focus on gratitude, affirmations, and of course, I have to do a shout out to the book Ninja Selling by Larry Kendall,
Mhm.
because Larry has the perfect recipe for a morning routine, and he's invented the Ninja Nine. These all tie perfectly into a life of gratitude. But we know that people that focus on mindset, they again, they earn the higher income, they have a more balanced life, and they're happier. So it's really that decision, Harjeet, like, who do you want to be? And here's the thing, you get to decide.
That's beautiful. I love that. That's exactly what I was looking for. You get to decide which lifestyle you want to live. You can live that lifestyle of the overwhelmed agent, or you could live that lifestyle of the top producing agent that knows how to communicate and has this wonderful abundance of gratitude within themselves. Now, you said the book's name is Ninja Selling by Larry.
By Larry Kendall, yes. Ninja Selling, it's actually ranked the #1 real estate book on Amazon, and Larry is a good friend of mine and an incredible author. So I highly recommend that if you've not read it, for sure. So,
Awesome. Say hi.
yeah.
Um, Now, speaking of children, since mine's popped out,
I
you're
have four. I have four, so I get it.
okay, so you're a mom of 4 children,
Yeah.
and you got through a divorce to find true love. Do you have any advice for other parents that are searching for a better relationship?
Absolutely. A divorce was very, very painful and very tough. And, I think that for me, I reflected on myself a lot. I spent a lot of time getting myself in shape physically and emotionally. So I was ready for a relationship, but I also thought a lot about what I wanted in a partner. And I think that's so important in life to know what you want. So I made a list of everything that I wanted. And I stuck to that list. And you know, I'm definitely not an expert on love, but I will say that knowing what you want in someone and working on yourself, those are the two biggest things to find love. And I'm very blessed now to be married to my best friend, and very, very grateful for him. Every day he's on my gratitude list. Okay. So
That is beautiful. Thank you, Bob. Bob says the same thing. Love Larry Kendall, a hero.
Larry's amazing. Yeah.
The that's what it comes down to, that anything that we do in life, whether it be real estate or relationships, friendships, when we're intentional about what we're doing, then that's what the universe will bring about in front of us. And you have been such a great example of that, and it's such an amazing thing what you're doing and how you're impacting so many lives just through your coaching, your leadership, and now your book, so that so many people can read and learn through your wisdom just by reading your book. Again, your book's name is The Habit of Grateful.
Yes.
What do you see as the future for the gratitude movement, and what's your hopes for the habit of grateful?
I just think that if everyone could embrace a habit of grateful every single day, it could really help, improve the world we live in. And I think that there's nothing better than telling people you appreciate them, spreading gratitude, and just always trying your best to live in a positive mindset. And I guess it's my hope that we can just have more of this, more kindness, more awareness. And especially in the business world, I think we need to be talking about this more, because it is so important. And looking at each other as, the holistic person. We're not just an employee number 5578, or
Yeah.
we're an entire being, and every part of us is important. And honoring the humanity of others by practicing gratitude. I mean, it's life's best gift.
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Honoring each other as actual human beings and not just a number or an employee, because the world has seen and become such a machine type of world. And that's one of the things that I love about the people that we're connected with, especially Bob, is that we have our systems, and our systems allow us to be even more human and more connected to the people that we're impacting and the lives that we're touching. I know earlier you spoke about being the leadership roles, and as a female leader, how has gratitude helped your journey, and any thoughts on the leadership and gratitude for thought leaders and female leaders that are emerging?
Oh, 100%. And I actually write about this in the book. And when I initially became a leader, I really thought that I needed to be hard, and I was going to lead with authority. And I very, very quickly learned that's not how this works at all. At all. And, I read a book by Dale Carnegie, and it's, oh gosh, what is it called? I'm going to mess it up. It'll come back to me. It's here on my shelf somewhere, but it's basically like the essence of being a leader, and talks about, you lead by understanding the people you're working with and what makes them tick, their why, and forging those relationships. And so gratitude was an easy way to connect with others, to say like, hey, what are you grateful for? And, and let's talk about your why. And so I think I leaned into my softer side, meaning that I began to understand leading is about leading from the heart. And of course, there's always expectations. I don't want to diminish that. I mean, my job is complicated. I have a lot of responsibilities, both financially and legally, and there is all that. But the big piece is, at the end of the day, we are all people, and we need to always remember that, like, and honor that in each other. So I think gratitude just made me a better leader. I mean, I write notes of gratitude to everyone I work with. I always, again, use gratitude to engage. I tell people I appreciate them.
Yeah.
And I feel that these are just skills that have helped me.
That's amazing. And that's exactly what, just give me one moment. This pizza's ready, I think. I'll totally do it for you. That's exactly what Bob's talks about at the very beginning of your book. The forward is appreciation. When you appreciate people, you appreciate not only in your mindset, in other people's mind, also financially and mentally. You just appreciate. There's no way of going, drowning. You're just going up there flying and appreciating. That's just so beautiful and such an amazing thing that you're doing and teaching other women that are rising up as well. So when we appreciate each other, we grow.
We do.
I love that. I love that. And again, thank you so much, Kristine. I would love to ask you, I know, like, what one advice or tips do you give to people? And do you how do you practice this at home with your children before you go? And what would you say to someone, anyone, if there's one thing that they need to hear today from you, what would it be?
In terms of how I practice it with my children, they're all aware of gratitude, and we definitely do the around the table, what are you grateful for? And we do talk about that. But I will say one of my kind of big life moments was when my daughter was in high school during COVID, and her senior year, she had friends that got into a car crash, and good friends, and two of the kids passed away. And it changed us all forever in so many ways. And my good friend lost her son, Matthew. In that moment, I recognized so completely that being a parent is such an honor and a privilege. And even when you're really tired and your kid is cranky, and, because parenting is hard, it is such a gift that I could never take for granted ever again. So I think, like, Matthew's life and my daughter experiencing that loss, it taught me the power of gratitude in a very different way. And that is another reason why it's so important to be grateful, because you never know what's going to happen in life. And I think I'm a very patient and kind parent because I recognize what a privilege and honor it is to be a parent.
Sorry, I muted because she was crying. It's such a a privilege. And it's just a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy that you were able to go through that with your daughter and be there for her.
Yeah, thank you so much.
My pleasure. And if there was one thing that you could give, or a tip that you could give anybody who's watching today, what would that be, Kristine?
I think just, again, to commit to a habit of grateful. Commit every single day for 30 days. Try a gratitude intervention. For 30 days, you're going to really focus on it. You're going to have sticky notes everywhere. You're going to wake up and say what you're grateful for. You're going to write it down. You're going to write notes. Every conversation you have, you're going to use these words. I appreciate you. Try for 30 days. See how you feel. Is it soothing? Is it helpful? Is it more calm? Are people reaching out to you? Like, your relationships have deepened because people are just, like, feeling the love. I think try for 30 days and see what happens. That would be my major piece of advice.
That's beautiful. 30-day gratitude intervention. And you know what? If anybody if you need a gratitude partner, just reach out to Kristine or I. We're on Instagram, Realtor G, I am, and Kristine, I believe, is Kristine Newell.
Yeah, Kristine W. Newell on Instagram. Yep, thank you.
W. Newell. So follow her. She has amazing content where she talks more about this as well. So, like, comment on that as well, and be part of this movement. It's just you will be so grateful for it.
Oh, sweetheart, thank you so much. It's a privilege.
My pleasure. Thank you again, Kristine, so much for giving this time. And again, if you all have enjoyed today, like, comment, and subscribe, and join us for another cup of jaw soon. Love you guys. Take care.
Bye.
Give me one moment, Kristine.